What is up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about why residents aren't doing nothing in assisted living. A recent study, which was done by the University of Michigan School of Nursing, raises a huge red flag about assisted living residents' activeness. This was on the McKnight Senior Living site by Kimberly Bonvisuto. I don't know if I said that right, but Kimberly, if I did, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you know Kimberly, or if your name is Kimberly, or if you have a friend named Kimberly, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and show some love. All right, in this one here, guys, we had a University of Michigan study done on 54 residents from 8 assisted living communities from September 2018 to March 2020. I can only imagine if they would have continued the study after March 2020, what those results would have been. No one been doing nothing for like 2 years, you know? But the study was done to investigate, and look at some of the factors that influence physical activity and sedentary behavior in assisted living. Specifically, they're looking for, things that, when it comes to depression or maybe sleep disturbance or pain or fatigue, or like what's causing this, like why, what are some of the social impacts? And what we found out is that, moving from a home environment to an assisted living environment can have an effect on mental health, which leads some residents to socially isolate. And a lot of times this might depend on their cognitive level or maybe some of their physical limitations. But what happened was researchers found that 72% of residents' time accumulated stepping was completed in periods of less than 2 minutes. What they're saying is that like 72% of residents barely moved. What they're saying is that they barely walked. They barely went anywhere. They barely did anything. Larson said, adding that the residents in the study were unable to maintain endurance because they were not walking for an extended length of time. Basically, they're just going from the recliner into the bathroom and back, or going to the recliner and the refrigerator and back. So this is a huge red flag. And the reality is that as a former assisted living facility owner, this is so true. I saw this everywhere. I mean, you would see photos, you would get the sales pitch about how amazing the activity program was. But the reality of it is that if you have a building with 100 residents in it, I guarantee you there's somewhere between 70 and 80 residents sitting in their rooms, going from their recliner to bed, and from the recliner to the kitchen and back. And literally, this is like 70-80% of residents in a big assisted living facility. They're not doing anything. They're not moving. They're not getting the stimulation that they need. They're not getting the stimulation that was sold to their families. And honestly, this happens more often than not. And the hard part about it is that trying to get a large group of people, like 70% of the population of an assisted living community to the activity area, is a massive feat. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of encouragement, a lot of just sheer willpower to get everyone together and want to come together. Because what happens is people become recluse. They get into an assisted living facility. They start having like these mental health issues. They start feeling isolated and lonely, even though they're in this place, and they don't build connections and they don't form friendships. And I know this is like not every assisted living facility. This is not every person, but this is the larger majority, and therefore they're just not active anymore, because now they don't have to do anything for themselves. They don't have to do their laundry anymore. They don't have to like cook their meals anymore, which is all the reason why they're going there, right? Is for this stuff to be taken care of for them. But the reality of it is because they're not doing anything anymore, and now they're like a little like isolated. They're going through maybe a depression, or they're going through some like kind of like just fear or loneliness or whatever, and they're not coming out of the room. They're not forming relationships and bonds, and they're just sitting there doing nothing. And it's the saddest thing to think about, because you have these massive buildings and really only 20% of the population in there is actually engaging with each other and is actually participating in these activities. And it's really, really sad, because like, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is waking up in the morning and getting up out of bed to just go sit in your chair all day and watch TV, and then get up and go grab something out of the fridge and go back to your chair and like not actually do anything? I mean, you spent your whole life trying to find this sense of purpose, or like working hard or doing something that was fulfilling and giving you meaning, to now sitting in a lazy boy. Like, what kind of like excitement is that going to bring you on a daily basis? What kind of fulfillment is the lazy boy going to bring you? I mean, okay, maybe if it has a massage thing in it and like your feet go up and it's got some little features and stuff like that, you can press a button and it like, I don't know, does stuff, whatever. I don't know. But like the reality is that like, that is not good. Like that might fulfill you for like 3 days. And after that, it's gonna get a little old and you're gonna lose that sense of purpose. But this is another reason why I foresee like less and less people keeping their loved ones in assisted living facilities. I actually truly believe that as rates and kind of inflation continues to increase and just the sheer cost of care continues to increase, you're actually going to start seeing families like take a second like guess about whether or not they should keep their loved one in assisted living, because all of a sudden it's going to get so expensive that it's going to start putting families in a situation where maybe that they themselves are going to have to come up with money to offset the cost of care for their loved one. And you're going to have things like long-term care insurance maybe running out because it only lasted for 2 or 3 years. And now your loved one is like spending all of their savings and you're sitting there seeing the money just fly out the door, but not seeing any form of benefits from like those that they love, you know, like their loved ones just sitting in a room all day, just sitting in the recliner. Well, if that's what they're doing all day and they're spending $7,000 a month, they can just do that at home for free, you know? And so I think what's going to ultimately end up happening is you're going to see not everyone, but you're going to see a certain percentage of the population realize that the cost of assisted living just does not make sense. And they may move their mom or their dad back in with them to help conserve their loved ones' precious assets that they might have and make sure that they don't spend all their money and they get stuck in maybe a Medicaid facility. And then you're going to see some people that just simply don't like seeing their loved one like not happy and don't like seeing their loved one just sit in a chair all day, and they're going to potentially pull their loved one out or put them into a different environment, such as an adult day, where they have activity all day long from the time they get there to the time they leave. And we create a social environment that, I don't say forces, but that like encourages people to come together and actually form a relationship with one another and actually build, you know, a friendship that's going to like lead to these like long lasting like social interactions that actually give our seniors a sense of purpose and meaning and help them feel fulfilled for the first time in many, many years. So this is why I think adult day has such a big place in the world of care, especially when it comes to that of assisted living, where you have so many people that are living in these facilities but are not actually living. They're not actually living. And adult day can change that and renew that thing inside of them that helps them live a fulfilled life again. If you guys want to learn more about opening up your very own adult day center, make sure you go to adcpro.com. Join us for our monthly webinars. Join us for in our private Facebook group. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. And if you're interested in opening up your own franchise, go to activeagecare.com/franchise, and we'll help you open up your very own Active Age Adult Day Center. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click here. We'll see you guys next time.